It's okay.
Now, I'll start with the profile of Mr. Gaurav Makranda, Associate Director and Partner, Panak Consulting Group Private Limited. He has worked in corporate, plant, and consulting domains across multiple cultures and industry segments. He had started his working career through an entrepreneurial startup, then he worked through his corporate career, and is now in the phase of synthesizing his entrepreneurial and professional roles through Panak Consulting Group. Prior to his consulting career, he was the head HR for Iker Dam, where he was part of the core team for designing and implementing a turnaround strategy. Prior which, he worked with Iker Motors Limited and Swill Limited. Mr. Gaurav has a PGDM from Symbiosis Institute of Management and a master's degree in labor laws and labor welfare from Pune University. He has also completed a 1-year special management program at IIM Kolkata. We welcome you, sir.
Our next guest is Mr. Avdesh Dikshit, Vice President and Head HR, General Electronics, SBI. Mr. Avdesh Kumar Dikshit is a graduate in economics and holds a degree in human resources and organization development from Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. He is also a certified as Global HR Professional, GPHR, from Society of HR in USA. Presently, he is a Vice President and Head Human Resources at GE-SBI joint venture based out of Gurgaon. Prior to joining his current role, Mr. Avdesh was Head HR of CMC Limited at Tata Enterprises and was responsible for HR across all geographies. He also has deep experience in managing international HR. He spent more than 4 years in London and worked in different HR roles for TCS UK and Ireland. We welcome you, sir.
Our next eminent speaker is Mr. Hemant Taneja, Head HR, US-based healthcare and life sciences company. Mr. Taneja is a seasoned human resources professional with a wide-ranging experience in high technology, BFSI, and hospitality sectors. In his previous assignment, Mr. Hemant was heading talent development for American Express Global Center in India. Among his voluntary pursuits, Mr. Hemant sits on the Management Council of Nirmal Bhartiya, a premier educational institution in Delhi. We welcome you, sir.
Our next eminent speaker is Mr. Vikramjit Singh, Vice President HR, IPE Global. He is a senior level generalist HR professional with 15 plus years of broad-based and progressively responsible experience in management an entire gamut of HR function. Mr. Vikramjit is an MBA in HR, currently heads the HR globally at IPE Global. In his past roles, Mr. Vikram has held leadership and senior roles at Li and Funk, McKinsey and Company, PricewaterhouseCoopers. Mr. Vikram is an elected member of the Managing Committee of Delhi Management Association. We welcome you, sir.
Our last eminent speaker of this session is Mr. Mayuk Das Gupta, Director, BD Tech Mahindra. Mr. Mayuk is having more than 15 years of work experience in diverse fields like HR outsourcing, staffing, talent acquisition, RPO and digital recruitment, and mobility solutions. He has worked with reputed organizations like Kelly Services, Educom Solutions, and NSDC Skill Ventures, and handled cross-border talent acquisitions. He is a management graduate and pursuing his PhD at the Birla Institute of Management Technology. He has also completed the summer school program from the IIM Ahmedabad. We welcome you, sir.
Now I request Mr. Gaurav Markanda to address the audience.
We have 4 panel members here, and I was just listening to the coordinators talk about their profile, and I was reading through it before coming here. And it's interesting that 2 of them represent an industry which is really coming up and is on the upward curve as far as the economy is concerned. Hemant is from a high-tech healthcare organization. Avdesh is from a financial retail organization. And the other two gentlemen actually work on the other spectrum, which is really the development space for Vikramjit, which is, they do a lot of projects with community building and all World Bank funded, and right? And Mayuk probably does something which touches the lives of so many people. He's helping millions of Indians get into a job through the portal that Tech Mahindra has started. It's called Saral Rozgar, right? Connected to the mobile, right? And it's for the blue-collared people and for the entry-level jobs. So the entire spectrum, you know, right from the high end of the society to the other end of the society, and how do we connect it out? So, and the topic I must share with DMA, they picked up something which I keep thinking, what was the topic? You know, every time I sit, I say, oh, okay, again, what was the topic? So it's really about this future trends and high impact approach. And I'm completely lost on this one, because whenever I look at future trends, I end up finding, read an article 20 years back, read an article 10 years back, and you end up seeing the same future trends, right? But can we really have a difference on those future trends? And are there any new expectations from businesses that we see in today's world? If panel members can share their thoughts around that. Go ahead.
Hi, so let me, start by saying, in fact, when you mentioned, what is the topic, and, then you say, what are the future trends? One thing that really struck me, and I think it's very articulated well in the agenda also, that what we knew and what's new. It's play of words, but then it's so topical that what we knew, the way we have been, trained to do things, and I can tell all of you that, all of us, this side, that side, everybody, all of us are, I think, in the way businesses are changing, we all of us are on a collective learning curve, because, none of us know that how it is shaping up, and then, but the choice that we have is, do you react to it, or do you proactively do something about it? But, one thing that really strikes me, and, when I talk to a lot of my friends, is that it's like, organizations today sort of live in a glass door kind of an environment, where everything that you do is almost immediately, visible to the entire world. The decisions that you make, the policies that you make, the products that you launch. So no longer you are insulated, or that time or speed to market or speed to, the traction that you want to get, good or bad. Unfortunately, bad also. The feedback is very, very quick. So that is actually shaping up a lot of things. Because I mean, of course, as cliched as it may sound, social media, but the access to it, so everything, the tendency of making things going viral, or the sort of corporate, I would say activism also. So some of those sorts. So of course, while we will talk about several other things, some of the ideas that stuck to me that are changing, that say I have changed the way I do things, or the way the world around is changing. But it'll be good to get comments from others, and then we can build on it.
Okay, I can. So first of all, Gaurav, thanks, and thanks to DMA for inviting me here. I think this is very interesting, because during the tea break we were talking about it. What are the things which are really changing? And I would agree with Gaurav that if you go back and look at some of the articles which got published some 10 years back with respect to what are the challenges in HR, and in case you read, you go and interview a lot of people in HR, you will find that some of those top 3 things still remain the same. So it's really, it's really difficult to say, how fast we are, mitigating some of the challenges in the HR area. But one clear trend which I see is that technology is going to make a lot of disruptions, And if you look at the one dimension of HR, which is work system design. So when I say work system design, see, today the technology enables the work to be executed from anywhere. So you can execute work out of hotels, you can execute work out of the airport lobbies, you can execute work out of home, and then you can also execute work out of office premises. So the entire boundary of from where the work can get executed is getting redefined. And that is primarily happening because technology is enabling it. So social media is one dimension of it. Social media as a subsystem of technology is enabling that kind of connection to happen and the work to get executed. But from HR perspective, what I believe is that one of the challenges which will crop up because of this disruption which is happening with due to technology is that the entire work system design itself is going to undergo a lot of change. What I mean is that you need to plan for this kind of work getting executed from multiple places. How are you going to enable some of your workers to get access to your network, get access to the data, get access to some of the processes which define and which control and the contours of the work process as I see it. So I would personally believe that technology is going to really push the boundaries with respect to work system design. And what it also does is that since technology enables work to be executed from anywhere, you would have multiple types of employment types cropping up. I don't want to get into like part-time employment, consulting, then you've got people working from home and all that. But if you look at the Western world, I was talking to Gaurav in the morning that, there's something called, self-managed contract. And the self-managed contract is nothing but, the individual saying that I'm the company and I'm going to execute the work. And I was pleasantly surprised some 2 months back when in my own company we started talking about it. So it's not only limited to full-time, part-time, working from home. There are various dimensions of work employment types which are emerging. And which is again a dimension of how technology is changing the work system design and the kind of employment types that you can employ. And all these things will, I think, pose a lot of challenge and also offer opportunities for HR people in terms of how do they address some of these challenges. I can talk more in detail, but probably we can hear from other people, and then I can detail out some of the things as we experience in our organization.
Thank you, Avdesh. Good afternoon, everyone. So, I was listening very intently as my co-panelists shared their perspective. I was listening equally intently when Gaurav started this conversation by sharing that you read something many years ago talking about the future of HR and the emerging trends. And what concerned me the most is the questions remain very similar to what they were many, many years ago. And that, to my mind, is a concern that we cannot address in one day, 1 week, 1 month, maybe a couple of years. But that's a concern which is fundamental, that needs attention. I was at a similar conference. I was very fortunate. I was traveling for work. Our headquarters is in California, and Stanford's right close to where we are, and incidentally, a similar kind of event was happening, and I happened to be there. This whole idea of VUCA seemed to be big in the conversation. VUCA, probably as we all know, stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And that was the term used to define the business environment today. And the conversation centered around, if VUCA is what the environment is, what is the expectation from HR? And how dramatically is HR changing